mentor to me, mentor to many in here, and I'm happy to turn it over to Bill to introduce our district governor.
Thank you. Welcome everyone. It was my pleasure to introduce Rob Dansereau, our district governor. Rob grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. He moved to Knoxville after high school to attend the University of Tennessee. Rob loves great food, cocktails, wine, and bourbon, which is why there's the bourbon fundraiser at the volunteer club. He claims to be an amateur chef too, so hold that, watch for that one. Interests outside of Rotary include art, music, antiques, architecture, and traveling to new places. He was a high-level tennis player in high school, now simply a recreational pickleball player. Rob's career is he's a realtor with Alliance Sotheby's, helping families find the perfect home, property, and also making complicated deals happen. Rob works with developers that are passionate about Knoxville through quality redevelopment projects, some of which are on the South Waterfront and also the Cumberland Avenue projects. Rob has been married to Krista for 24 years. Krista's an early childhood educator by training, works with autistic children to kind of create better outcomes for them. They have 3 children. Kate is a Fulbright scholar. She is currently teaching at the University of Southeast Asia in Siem Reap, Cambodia. How about that? She's empowering college students to better participate in the global economy, so it's kind of that's far away. Robin is a chemistry and MBA candidate at the University of Alabama. She participates as a student advisor for future health professionals and Doctors Without Borders. She just returned from a trip to Ghana, where they observed and participated in surgical procedures. Their youngest, Lily, is a pre-law student at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. She's a member of the Zeta Tau Alpha sorority, where she volunteers and raises money for local and global projects. East Tennessee is Rob's home. People fall in love with the natural beauty of the place or the economic opportunities that we have, but Rob loves East Tennessee because of the people. We're genuinely kind and reserved. Most of us are. Rob believes that people make the place, and Rotary exemplifies this idea. Rotarians, please stand and give a warm welcome to Rob Dansereau.
So don't you love it when people say all those nice things about you? Isn't it one of those things where it's like, I was at a club last week, so just so you all know, you are my 10th club visit since last Tuesday. Okay. So it's all things Rotary right now. It's all hands on deck. Oh, and I went to a social last Wednesday night also, which was amazing. So you all are the 2nd oldest club in our district. I'm sorry. Yes, 2nd in the district, 3rd in the state of Tennessee. Okay, so Rotary in Tennessee started out in Nashville initially, and then the Rotary Club of Chattanooga was chartered, and then a year later this club was chartered. So you have a storied history. I think it's really important. But I was at the newest club last week also, which is our Ocoee Regional Club in the Cleveland-Bradley area. They've been a club for 1 year. So it's really nice to kind of see that difference between the clubs that we have in the district, and it's just really special. So when I think about the Rotary Club of Knoxville, this is one of my home clubs. I've been here a lot of times. I love coming here. My club, the Rotary Club of Knoxville Volunteer, which you all sponsored almost 40 years ago. Thank you for that. Meets at Church Street on Fridays. So come make up with us if you need to make up. But what I'm really here to talk to you about is the magic of Rotary in your club. And I'm going to get out on this podium in just a second, I promise you. I'm going to come out there and be with my people, because that's who we are. We're all in this together. A lot of people don't know what a district governor does. I'll just tell you. My job right now is I am the equivalent of an executive director of a nonprofit with 60 locations, 17 area managers, and 60 general managers or club presidents, and 3,000 constituents. That's what my job is right now for this year. I've been training to do this job for 3 years, and I get 1 year to make an impact. And that's what I'm gonna do, and we're gonna do that together. So I'm gonna grab this microphone and I'm gonna walk out from behind here because I don't wanna stand behind the podium. So the first thing I did when I was looking at your club, I said, well, how do I get to know the Rotary Club of Knoxville a little bit better? So I cyber-stalked your club the best I could. And I looked for images of what you all do and the difference that you're making in both your local and global communities. And I found this photo. I'm always looking for people of action photo. This is not new. If you see, it says serve to change lives. We know that's a few years ago, right? But this is one of those photos that shows an interesting cross-section of people who are members of the club, as well as families and community members that you're making a difference in their lives. And that's what we're really about. We're really here because of a couple of things. Why'd you join Rotary? I'll ask you that question. But most of our members join Rotary for one of 3 reasons. Number one, about 35% of people join for service, right? Because they want to make a difference in their local and global communities. About 35% of our members join for fellowship. They want to have fellowship. They want to get to know people. They want to, come and have lunch, go to socials, do the fun things. And about 15% of our people join for networking purposes. That's why they join Rotary. But the interesting thing is that changes after a 2-year period. So the members that stay in the organization for 2 years, the networking part that was 15%, that goes away. And it goes to 50% for service, because that's what we do. And that's where our heart is. I don't know if I'm turned on. So some of the things that you do. So that's the CareCuts photo on the left. Somebody want to tell me what you all did for CareCuts? Virginia, you want to tell me what you did for CareCuts?
Yes, that one, for help y'all that didn't go, we organized thousands of shoes.
There you go.
But, I think for all of us that were there, it was kind of not what we were expecting to do, but we found out it was a job that they needed somebody to help with.
So it's partnerships, right? Because how do we magnify what we can do? It's all about multiplying. And, when you think about the projects you're involved with, think about your local partners and who they are. Teacher of the Year. All right. Tell me what the Teacher of the Year is.
I haven't been on that committee, but we select from local educators the best of the best and give them an award.
So, education and care. That's what I get from this. So, you see that photo on the left? Can you see that, Tom? I think it's the kids playing the recorder. Why don't you tell me about that real quick and tell your club members about that?
This summer, Bob and I went to Kenya to visit Orbit Orphanage. My daughter went with us. She is a music professor. She had a music camp at the orphanage, and she donated 100 Yamaha recorders. And she taught the music camp every day. And at the end of the week, the children were so excited, they learned to read music and play the recorders, and they had a concert.
Thank you, Towns. I bet you didn't know you were going to get called on today. But Team Orbit, a lot of you know what that is. Your club's been the leading club in our district related to the Orbit Village and the projects we've been doing. You know that we do a lot. This club, especially, it's amazing. You do tremendous work globally. It's not just about your local community, and there are lots of opportunities for that. I think it's really important because it's really what's fulfilling. Why are you here? And we'll talk about that a little bit more. The middle photo right there is your Webb Middle School Interact Club. So youth, again, and that's a $500 check when you zoom in on it and you can actually see it, to Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Y'all know what Sleep in Heavenly Peace is? Some of you probably do. Some of you may not. It's a project where we come together with another organization in order to give children beds. because too many children are sleeping on the floor. And there are about 3, 4, maybe 5 clubs now in our district that are doing that project. So it's not just you all, but what a great project. And the one on the right, I didn't pick your Rotaract Club. Maybe I did, I don't know, we'll see my next shot. I picked your UT Rotaract Club, right? Because I think that's important. So what I see here when I look at these 3 images, I see global work with children. I see work with middle schoolers to give back to their community, people who have less fortunate, who are less fortunate than them. And I see your UT Rotaract Club, which is trying to build out a pantry to help students at UT who need some basic necessities and can't afford them. And you all support them in all of those ways. I love this. This photo on the left is a UT program about polio and the effects. And you all support that with the Rotaract Club. And I think that's important because that means that you're getting the message out there in the community about what you're doing and who you are. And I think that's really important. The photo in the middle, y'all know who's on the right? That's Dave Baumgartner. And Margo, I saw you here. We couldn't do it without you. We just absolutely couldn't. And thank you again, because you are making a tremendous difference in the lives of children throughout the world through the Purple Pinky campaign. And over $1.6 million this year is the number that went to the Polio Plus eradication effort because of Dave and Margo's efforts. And it starts with them. So this is Dave receiving a special award from Past Rotary International President John German. And that's really special. It really is, because it shows the leadership of the Rotary Club of Knoxville. And I'm going to need somebody to tell me when I have 5 minutes. That's going to be the important part. So, a lot of you probably haven't seen the Rotary Vision Statement. It's not something you probably look at or read on very often. But every organization has something. But I think ours is really special. And it says, together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. And really, the part there that's so important that I want you to focus on is the in ourselves part. What changes in us through the service that we do? That's the thing I want you to think about, because you all chose to be here today. You choose to show up to service projects. You choose to go out there and do those things in your community when you are being pulled and tugged in every other direction that you could go. But what is it about it that makes it worthwhile? And that's really what I want you to think about. You could be somewhere else on Saturday morning instead of picking up garbage along the river, right? You could be at a child or grandchild's soccer or baseball game, yet you choose to be here at that time. And it's really about what it does for you as an individual, because when we give back to our community, we get to see the joy in those people, but the real joy is kind of how our heart is filled up and what makes it worthwhile. So that's why we're Rotarians, is that level of service. And so I want you to think about that. I want to play this video real quick. It's 2 minutes. It's an infographic. It really is just kind of telling you where a Rotary is going. So come on to my AV people.
Fingers crossed.
I believe in you.
Did you play?
We are people of action.
And when there's a challenge to confront, people of action come together and make a plan.
Even as we continue to help address global challenges, we're facing one of our own. When Rotary surveyed people around the world, we found a big gap between who we are as an organization today and who we need and want to be.
Our foundation is strong, but Rotary is ready to show that we can grow and become even stronger.
So we established our new action plan as a roadmap for how we can think differently, be more inclusive, and become a stronger, more effective Rotary.
The plan has 4 priorities. We're going to increase our impact because now more than ever, the world needs innovative planning and proved solutions. We'll be more data-driven, not just serving communities and doing good work, but measuring what we do so we can scale up our successes. and share more compelling stories about the good we do.
We will expand our reach by welcoming new people into Rotary and finding new ways to connect with people who share our commitment to making our communities and ourselves better. We'll enhance participant engagement by making sure everyone who connects with us gets even more out of their experiences than they put in.
And we'll increase our ability to adapt, because staying ahead of change while staying true to who we are is exactly how we make sure we have the staying power it takes to lead a new century of change.
Rotary's action plan is ambitious, but we can do it.
If we work together on new ways to think, plan, and take action, we will bring our communities and our organization to new heights.
Our legacy is in the making. Ready to do your part?
Let's show the world what it means to be people of action.
So wow, that's a powerful video, right? It tells you kind of in a nutshell what we're doing as an organization. And again, it kind of comes back to, we have a plan. Where are we going? But there are three things that are really important. It's really about where we come from. And I really love that President Chris gave you a talk today about two of the titans in this club from early on, because I think it's important to understand what your history is and where you come from. It's also about where you are right now. Think about your club. Think about where it is culturally. Think about the people that are here. And then where you want to go as a club. Because I'm not the governor that's coming in here to do an inspection of your club and say, they're doing good, check all the boxes. I'm the support person that's here to help provide resources and connections for you in order for you to go where you want to go. And this club already does lots of amazing things. But one of the things I want to talk about a little bit, I've got this back table back here, and you guys are just kind of sitting back here. It looks like there's a whole bunch of leadership right now on you because I want to. And I'm going to ask you, Frank, when you see a phrase like increase our impact, I'm not telling you to read off the slide, please don't. What does that mean when you hear increase our impact?
To me, obviously, it's pretty logical, isn't it, to be able to do more than what we're currently doing.
Spot on, right? And so when we talk about increasing our impact, it's really about understanding, again, what we've always done, what we are doing now. And it's about tracking it and knowing that there are resources there for us to provide you as a district. So if you're doing a certain kind of service project now, and I was talking to your board about this earlier, and you're having success with it, it's great, and your members love it, keep doing it. If you want to do another type of service project or another type of fundraiser, or you want to do something else differently, then we probably have a club out of the 60 in our district that are probably doing that already. So why wouldn't we provide you with best practices, how to make that more successful? Let me give you an example. How do you get out there in the community more? I was talking to the Dayton Rotary Club on Friday. Great club. I don't know if y'all been to downtown Dayton, but they have a Main Street program, and that community is thriving. It's coming along. It's beautiful. They do a golf tournament each year. They don't raise that much money on their golf tournament. They raise about $80,000. It's a reasonable amount of money. You think, well, that's pretty good for a small town. But then I was at Hamilton Place in Chattanooga on Wednesday, and they do a golf tournament, and they raise $42,000. So what is Dayton doing differently than Hamilton Place? What does Hamilton Place do differently than Dayton? And why wouldn't we connect them so that they can be more successful? That's a simple example about increasing our impact. Expanding our reach. Who are our members? You know, what do we look like as a club? What do we want to look like? Who are the people that are in the room? Are we giving opportunities? You support 2 Rotaract clubs, 2. So you have a lot of people who can potentially feed into Rotary. But in expanding our reach, are we getting the message out there in the way that we're making Rotary magnetic? Or I like the word contagious. People don't like that word anymore. Or infectious. We don't like that, right? But we talk about it. Because if you're having that member experience that's amazing for you, that's contagious to other people. It's just about thinking about who those folks are that you can invite and bring into the room. Because when you think about expanding our reach, that's how you increase your impact, right? That allows you to have more people, which is more capacity, which allows you to do more in your community, both locally and globally. And I think that's really important. Enhancing participant engagement. So let's think about the things that you all do, and you all do a lot. I'm going to ask one person just to talk for a second. Hey, I'm going to ask Ed. Ed, what's your favorite service project that your club does?
I really enjoyed our project, our current project. I like cleaning up the schools. I get out there doing some hands-on stuff.
So school cleanup projects, literacy projects, dictionary projects, you all with Beaumont, all the things you do there, the food tracking projects, the library projects that you do. You've done a lot of things with Wesley House. There's so many. But when I think about enhancing participant engagement, how is it magical to your members? How do you get more people to want to participate and have that experience that then becomes contagious, that they then want to share with the person in their office who says, "Where are you going every Tuesday at lunch?" "Well, I'm going to my Rotary meeting." "What's that? Isn't that an organization for like old guys?" No, not anymore. Why don't you come and see? Why don't you come and see what we are? Come and look at us. Have a good time. Why don't you come to a service project? "What are you doing on Saturday?" "Well, I'm busy." "Well, would you rather maybe pack some food so some kids don't go hungry?" I mean, that maybe is one of those things. So are the projects that you're doing the ones that your membership is inspired by? Are you inspired by the things you're doing? Because that's the part that gets it out there into the community that makes people want to be part of your club. We're at 149 members in the Rotary Club of Knoxville right now. Do you know that the Rotary Club of Cleveland is at 140 members right now? And they are on your heels to be the second largest club in our district, which is crazy to me, because I have seen this club in the past with well over 200 members in the past. And the impact is just exponentially larger when you add those other people. But they need to understand that Rotary has pretty minimal guidelines. Even this club has pretty minimal guidelines for what it takes to be a Rotarian. We just have to ask people. And we do that through inviting them to our service projects. When I think about our ability to adapt, that part's really important. And when we talk about where we come from as a club, where we are as a club, and where we're going. So adaptability is all about where you, the members of the Rotary Club of Knoxville, want to take your club. What do you want to do with it? You got great leadership. You have tremendous history, like almost no other. And I'll tell you, super proud that after the induction that was done at the Knoxville Museum of Art, and they said, "You're the 111th governor of the Rotary, District 6780. I thought about it, and I said, 111. And this club is 110 years old, right? Coming up. Shannon, you're here, 110? Right. There have been 110 district governors that came before me. 110. Just think about that number. And we all got 1 year. And what that means. But over time, the organization has had to adapt and become more than what it was in the past. It's had to change. It couldn't always be the same. It wasn't always, it can't be the same people in the room all the time doing all the stuff. It's got to be, how do we bring in new people who want to make a difference? If people have a heart for service and they can meet the minimum parameters to be a Rotarian, then why not? Why not bring them in? Why not grow this club to where you can have a much more outsized impact, even beyond where you are, because you're already doing amazing things. So when I think about ability to adapt, I think about those little incremental changes within the club, with the people, with the service projects, with the fundraisers, with the organizations that you're involved with, and how you're going to do that so that people have an amazing member experience, because that's really what everything is about. So I like to ask people, and I'm going to pick on somebody else, because that's what I do. All right, Bruce, tell me why you joined Rotary.
I joined Rotary in another state because I had colleagues that told me about Rotary. And so actually, I did a bunch of service projects with the Rotary Club before I ever joined. And they finally said, you keep coming to service projects, why don't you join? And I joined a different Rotary Club.
That's so funny because I was at the, I love it, thank you, Bruce. I was at the Rotary Club of Knoxville Sunset last night. It's our satellite club. And I got an email from one of the members afterward. He used to be a member of my club. He's not a member of my club anymore. He's in another club. And he said to me, he said, hey, we have a mutual friend. And he said, why don't you tell this person to come visit our club? And I said, well, he's been attending my club for the last several weeks, sporadically. So I'll tell him that he has another option. But I want to know, tell me why you joined Rotary.
Really joined for the service. I joined the Oak Ridge Club many years ago, and when I came to work at UT, I transferred to this club, but it was really for the service more than anything.
So I heard service and I heard service, right? Ray, you're up there in the corner. Service, okay. Who joined for fellowship?
I did.
Yeah. And who joined for networking? Because it's okay. Because of that, okay. Shane joined for networking. It's good. Of course.
He joined because Towns told him to.
So I think that's really important because he was either, but somebody asked you, right? Didn't they ask you? And then somebody supported you and you're still here for a reason. And that reason is because there's value here. And that comes back around to the member experience. That's really what we're talking about here. So I'm not going to tell you what your club experience needs to be. Your club's going to do that. But I am going to say to you something about the member experience, which I think is really important. I feel like I'm having the best experience in Rotary of anybody in this room right now. Okay? This is amazing. Okay? People treat me wonderfully. I get to go out and I get to observe and speak to you all, and I get to participate at a high level and inspire people. And it makes it worth it for me because I have another job. This one doesn't pay except in the heart. Okay? So I want you to think about that. So I think that my experience is the best. My partner over here, Bill McGrath, thinks that his experience is the best. Bill wants everybody to have his experience, and Rob wants everybody to have their experience too. So think about your experience and how it relates to you and how it's magical and what it is for you, and let people have their own experience and don't tell them what there should be. Okay? It's perfectly okay to talk about what it can be, but it's not about you pushing your experience on somebody else. It's about the individual getting to have that magic. And we'll go back to slide number 1. If I can get there, probably can't. It's about going back and having that magic Rotary in your heart. That's what it's about. That's the magic, your personal experience, and that's why you're here. That's why you're not at the office right now finishing up something you probably should be working on. And that's why you're doing that. And I'm just going to push it to the last slide, which is my business card. And Bill McGrath, you're so lucky, is my assistant governor, or your assistant governor, I should say, in this club. And Bill is that connection between the district and the club. And you've got one of the best. And what I'll say to you is that I'm always available. Bill is my liaison, but I'm always available. If you need me, please reach out to me. And I'm here for you, and I'm super excited about where the Rotary Club of Knoxville is going this year. So get ready and get on board, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to grow the club. We're going to continue to do more in the community, both locally and globally, and it's going to be magical for you. And that's what this is all about. So thank you for having me today.